Aging well is my favorite subject. So in today's video, I'm going to be sharing with you the best possible clean makeup, in my opinion, to apply to our beautiful aging skin. Let's get started. So what does clean beauty mean? Generally, clean makeup refers to makeup that has been formulated without certain ingredients that are potentially irritating. But there's no single legal or universally accepted definition. The meaning definitely varies by brand. Common characteristics in brands that refer to themselves as clean often means that they're avoiding certain ingredients. Parabens, formaldehyde-releasing preservatives, and probably synthetic fragrances. Frequently, products are marketed side by side when they are cruelty-free, vegan, and environmentally conscious. Clean does not mean hypoallergenic. And finally, clean does not mean organic. Each brand is different. That's a very important theme. This morning, I am wearing a face full of what I really thought was lovely, clean beauty products. And I'm delighted to share with you now as I apply and chat about the products that I loved the most. Before I applied a thing, as always, I cleaned my face, I applied my skincare and my sunscreen, and then I was ready to roll. I started with my favorite foundation. I've spoken of this before. I've long been a fan of the Ciel Tint and Protect SPF 50. It really combines makeup, skincare, and sun protection, but that doesn't mean I skipped my sunscreen. I love it because it's light to medium protection. I apply it lightly in the center of my face with a brush, and then I dab it around the rest of my face. I don't want a lot of coverage, though the coverage is certainly buildable. So if you felt you wanted to have much more in a particular area, you had a sensitivity to an area of your face that you were happy to cover up, this would work for you. If, however, like me, you want it to look very skin-like, I love this product. I feel as though my skin always looks like skin. Even if I wasn't speaking to you through a camera, I think you'd still agree. The ingredients that it contains in terms of skincare is niacinamide, allantonin, bisabolol, and each of these support the skin's barrier. It is marketed as fragrance-free, vegan, and suitable for acne-prone skin. I feel as though the glow that it gives me is natural, but not shiny, that it's lightweight. There's another product that is similar to this. It's also called a skin tint, and it's made by Ilia. I will link it below as well. I find I prefer the Ciel. I find Ilia is all the more sheerer in its coverage. But for those of you that are looking for a dewier finish, a sheerer finish, you may find you wish to try the Ilia. But for the moment, and for quite a while, I have loved Ciel. The next product I'll be talking about is the Kosas Concealer. I'm talking about these products in the order that I truly apply them. So it's the way I do it day to day. I think Kosas is a great concealer. It calls itself a hybrid between makeup and skincare, and I definitely find that it looks very skin-like. I find it's medium coverage and quite buildable. It's easy to apply. I dot a couple of dots on. I then use a brush and I do pat, 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 pat pat all the way out to here. I try to do as much as I can out here to brighten this area of my eye. Out, out, out. And then I pat it gently with my fingers, just to make sure that it really is gonna soak into my skin. I don't want any sitting on the surface. I find this product is very kind to my under eye area. It has caffeine that reduces my morning eye puffiness. It also has hyaluronic acid for hydration. We need hydration in the eye area always. Has peptides for smoother looking skin, and I do find it blends very easily. The next product is by the brand Say, and it calls itself an undetectable baked setting powder. I have to say, I love it. I think it's really a lovely, lovely product. It's very finely milled, and I apply it with a light brush. I apply it gently under my eyes as a setting powder for the concealer. And I also use it around the middle of my face. In terms of order, I would do middle of my face first, and then what's left on the brush, I then apply to my under eye area. My objective is to apply less under my eyes. I believe less is more. But I think it's beautiful powder. I think it's very lightweight, and I believe it has a slight radiance, which I quite like that. The lightness of it is especially nice for the summertime, and I think that it would be just as nice in the winter, though I have to say I haven't yet used it in the winter. The marketing says that it includes hyaluronic acid and squalene, and each prevents dryness. And I have to say, I am probably more likely to continue using this than my other translucent powder throughout the summer. I love it. If you've enjoyed the video so far, please give it a like. And if you enjoy videos on the subject of aging well, subscribe to the channel. We would love to have you. We love to talk about healthy eating, healthy exercise, healthy living in general. And sometimes that includes talking about skincare and makeup and styling. We'd love to have you. Thank you so much for watching, and thank you for your kind consideration. Next, I always apply an eye primer to the movable lid area of my eye. I thought the color was beautiful. It's a slightly peach color. I can show you the color of the product on my hand. Slightly peach. Its intention is to slightly brighten the area of the lid. It allows for even application of an eyeshadow, and the concept of a primer is that the eyeshadow would last longer, which some people do have particularly oily eyelids and may find that that's something that they're even more concerned about in the summertime. But I think it's very nice. It's a lovely product. The next product is an eyeliner, a kajal eyeliner in brown by a brand called Kulfi. I am such a fan. More often, the wiser I get, I wear brown rather than black. I find for me, the black is just maybe a little too severe, but I love this brown. This is the nicest shade of brown. The color shade is called Cheeky Chiku. There's the name of it. What a cute little name. It's waterproof, which is really lovely for when our faces are gonna be much hotter, and therefore we will perspire more in the summertime. So I love it that it's waterproof. I love it that it is such a creamy glide onto the eye. I tend to apply my eyeliner 2/3 of the way. I don't do the center section, and I only do the outer quarter. And then I use a brush and I give it a quick smudge. With a product such as this, if you want to smudge it out the way I do, I would rather have a smudge of brown than an actual line of brown. I like it to define the outer area of my eye, but not in a harsh line. I found it was easy to apply. Reviews of it said it's really easy to apply and that it stays in the waterline. I no longer do a waterline, though I used to when I was younger. It also was very highly reviewed for its staying power, and it compared it to some of its competitors in the natural makeup space, clean makeup space, and said that this was actually the most long-lasting formula. I loved it. I was very pleased to have learned about the Kulfi Chicky Chiku Brown eyeliner. Next, I'll talk about this lovely, travel-friendly eyeshadow palette by the brand Lawless. It is a delightful product. It's all you need for travel. It's called the Little One. I think it's elegant packaging. I love the black slim line. I think the combination of products, that some matte and some shimmer, I thought the colors were really nice. They have 8 natural shades. I think it's a very daytime and nighttime friendly palette. The powder is talc free, which is very important in the clean space. We've all read about talc being not a healthful element in our products, be it underarm deodorant or makeup in general. You'll see in the drop-ins that I began with the white, and I used that in the center of my eye, and then I used a little bit of the medium brown in the outer section of my eye. I found it easily blendable, not too dark, not too light. I thought this is a lovely little discovery. Next, I curl my lashes. I've done that off camera, I hope you don't mind. And then I would always apply mascara. And this is the first time I've used this quite famous product I've learned, the Ilia Beauty Limitless Lash Mascara. This is the mascara by Ilia that defines a fluttery lash all about length, which I quite love. I believe my lashes, you'll see in the drop-ins, still look quite natural, but definitely enhanced. I show you when I did one eye, but I haven't done the other eye. I think it's a beautiful mascara. And for me, the mascara is all about the brush. I love this brush. It very easily differentiates each of our lashes and gave a lovely lengthening effect as well as a separation effect. I thought this mascara is beautiful. I'm very happy to have this in my kit. I understand that Ilia Beauty also make a volumizing mascara, which I'll also link below for you. So for those of us that really don't want the lengthening and the curling, instead want the volume, there's a mascara in the range of Clean Beauty in the Ilia Beauty brand. Next is this Merit Flush Balm, which is a product I have owned for quite a long time. Not honestly because it's a clean product, but because it is the easiest little thing to carry in your bag. It's a cream blush by Merit. You just do the do, and then blend it with your fingers. And I even am wearing it on my lips. So I just do a little of this, as though it's lipstick, and pop it on. I have long found it to be absolutely lovely. The color that I'm using is Le Bonbon, which I think is just a nice pink, rosy pink color. A little bit on the natural side, but I think you can see that I have something on my lips. I love this. I love the fact that I can pop it on. I almost don't need a mirror. I can just give it a little blend. I can top it up easily during the day. It gives me just enough of a lit from within, lightweight, subtle, buildable bit of lovely pink, but mostly I love its convenience factor. I also like the fact that the lid stays shut. So if it's popped in my bag, I have never had a problem of it opening up, which is a crisis. So you really don't want to have that happen. I love this. It's not necessary to add a powder blush on top of a cream blush. But if I'm going out for the day and I don't know if how long I'm gonna be out, and I wanna make sure that I have a little bit of a blush on my face, I may top a cream blush up with a powder blush. Powder blush always lasts longer. Cream blush notoriously does not last as long. And in terms of order, you'd always put cream blush first and then powder on top. So what I've done, as you saw, is I put the cream on first and then I topped it up with this Say Healthy Glow blush powder in the color Mia. The product is referred to as Super Suede. It's a soft rosy pink. I think it's a color that almost anyone would enjoy. Not too peach, not too purple, just kind of a sweet medium pink. And then finally, I would always dab around another layer of setting powder for two reasons. One is to make sure that my face isn't too shiny, so I would put setting powder in the T-zone just in case. And I would also go around my blush and add setting powder to make sure that I have blurred out the edges of my blush. I don't want you to be able to see where the blush begins and ends. So I'll just do a general little doot all around my face. I hope you found this to be useful. I hope you won't hesitate to ask any questions or share with us any experience you've had with particular products in the clean makeup world. If you have favorites, please pop them in the comment section. I feel we owe it to each other to always share whatever good news or perhaps not so good news with our community. Everything we learn is definitely shareable. I hope you're all doing very well. I hope you're having a happy summer with family and friends. Let me know. Thank you so much, as always, for watching. Get up, get dressed, do be happy. Can't wait to see you next time. Bye-bye.